Virgo, welcome to your Astroflower reading. We're going to be going into your chakras, your aura, and also doing a tarot reading at the end of this this reading. This is the reading for the week of the 22nd. I've got it all wrong, haven't I? I've got everything wrong there. Sorry about this, Virgo. We'll have to start again. Should we start again? Oh, dear me. Virgo, welcome to your Astroflower reading. This is going to be a reading going into your chakras, your aura, and doing a tarot reading at the end of it. It's a weekly reading going from the 27th through to the 2nd of April. I want to laugh all the time with you, Virgo, at the moment. So obviously, I've just got this feeling that you're in a really good, funny space at the moment, a fun space at the moment. Thank you for actually finding this video, because YouTube have not been making it easy for people to find our videos, our readings. So if you found this, well done. And subscribing and clicking that bell would be really nice if you could. So yeah, let's just go straight on in here. Let's just see what's going on with your root chakra. Connecting to the energy there, because just need to put it in place. Okay, so here we go with your root chakra. I think this week here, it becomes clear for you if you're grasping a situation which is fundamentally sinks you into place. It's almost as if you're opening up and latching onto something that makes you feel grounded and rooted in what you're doing. And this is on both sides. This isn't just on one side. It's not just on your material side or your relationship side. It's on both sides. So this could be a rooting within yourself. It could be a case of finding your mission in life, or finding this part of this stage of life, this mission of your life. So, you know, we have lots of different rhythms, and I go into that in some of our masterclasses as well. And some of those rhythms in our lives are much more important than others. And this seems to be a stage here where you can, it's almost as if you're grasping something with your root chakra at this present time, as if to sort of say, oh yes, that is it. Okay, now how do I sink into it? How do I lock into that sort of grounding energy, which helps you to drive on to your heart's desires, give you that sort of weight and that sort of power in order to manifest your future that you so desire. But it's not just to do with your desires either. It's almost to do with your place within the world that you find yourself, within the part of the world that you find yourself. And it's really, really quite nice, actually. It's absolutely beautiful. It's really well formed. Most root chakras at the moment, I haven't found any root chakras that have been completely out of whack at the moment. But this is really well formed, really well designed. Let's just see what's going on in your sacrum. Wow. Okay, so this is like, let me just get my feet. Let's see what's going on here, because this is really interesting. There seems to be like, so there's an opening of the sacrum chakra as it is. So people are opening up to their desires and helping themselves to manifest or living what they should be living, basically. And most people have this sort of like pointed sort of directional sort of shape. And it's almost as you've got that as well, but within that direction that's coming out of that direction seems to be like a sphere of energy coming out of it. It's almost as if you're giving birth to something completely new, as if you're making a complete and utter breakthrough, but not just in your life, a breakthrough that sort of affects everything and everyone that is around you. In a way, it's almost like a gift that you're creating from within you. So if you were thinking of, say, like writing a book or starting a YouTube channel, or sort of starting a business, or you know, starting a charity, or whatever, you know, whatever's just sort of floats your boat. If you're thinking about starting it, I would really start, basically. Yeah, and it seems this week here that it seems to be it's like the sun is rising within your sacrum. It's rising within those sort of fundamental desires of who you are and what you want to be. Absolutely beautiful. It's very well harmonized as well on both sides. So there's not, you know, there's not too much on work side. There's not too much on the relationship side. It's a very work, play, ethic, harmony and balance which you've got going on within your sacrum. Absolutely beautiful. Really, really, really beautiful. Let's just see what's going on your solar plexus. Wow, this is really heavy. It's really heavy. It's really heavy. It's difficult. It's difficult to say that this is a good thing, because this could be almost where you're you may be missing a bit of confidence in yourself to actually go ahead and just finalize something and finally do it, which is something you find, which is something that Virgo you have difficulty with. You're brilliant at ideas, you're brilliant at developing other people, developing ideas and etc. But getting it across the line can sometimes be difficult for you. Everything could be right in place, and it's just a case of pressing that button and doing that thing, or recording that video, or just registering that charity, or sending that book off to the publishers, or you know, or even just starting that book. It's just a case of, it seems to be, you know, it's got a lot of weight, which has got a huge amount of potential, but it's not firing as yet. Let's just see what's going on the top there. There is that perpetual sort of socializing, happy-go-lucky aspect that you do have with you, Virgo. And you know, you're one of those sort of signs, and very similar to sort of Pisces, which is your opposite sign as well, which we've just come out of that season. And that could be that sort of like happy-go-lucky sort of thing that's still there within you, but you almost feel like kind of going, okay, I now need to go ahead and do it. I've got to stop messing around. I've got to stop, you know, connecting with, you know, or socializing, running around, and I've got to now put to work myself and get to work on what I want to be doing. And you may feel that within you. And so I would develop that sort of, that sort of sentiment within your meditation, and looking at it as a very sort of like a mechanical sort of step-by-step sort of process, that if you start something, it's going to build those passions out. And it is quite short, that sort of that solar plexus, but as I say, it's got a lot of potential. And if you engage it, all of a sudden it's going to sort of ignite, and that's going to push your passions to overdrive in the going future, which will be really good, not just for you, but for everybody around you. And with this birthing of this fundamental desire in your sacrum, it could be a case here that when that kicks off, you know, that's what's going to give life to that sun that's rising within your sacrum. Let's just see what's going on in your heart chakra. Well, this is where I see the fun, is it? This is where I see the funny side of it. Your heart chakra is really wide. It's got it's very full. It's full all the way through, and really wide. So I think this ties in from last week as well, where it was very sort of fun, happy, socializing. And now you're going to start turning that attention, or turning that heart's desires onto your own personal gains, or your own personal goals and your desires, basically, which is really good. And it's got a definite direction to it, which is sort of like feeding off that sort of bubbly surface of the solar plexus. And it just needs to sort of kick in. And once it does kick in, it's going to make it's almost like a peacock is sort of like raised its feathers, but hasn't, you know, it's sort of raised it, but it hasn't actually fanned it yet. And that's what it's waiting to do. And when it does, it's going to be really nice, and opening up to loving life, basically. That's what it seems like, just opening up to loving life. Let's just see what's going on in your third eye and in your throat chakra. Yeah, there's quite a bit of movement in there. So there's when you're on, you're on. When you're off, you're off. That's what it seems like. You know, sometimes be careful of that, obviously, because you do like sort of helping other people to excel in their lives, which is absolutely beautiful, Virgo. But at the same time, I think you might find it a little bit frustrating, a little bit sort of absorbing, like the outside world is absorbing you a little bit. And this may give you these moments of just sort of within you, a little bit of doubt and stuff like that. So I'd be strong and have a lot of strength within you, and quell those doubts within you, and help to have that constant logic that sort of is going to feed those heart's desires, and create or allow that sun within your sacrum to sort of really ignite here. And I think it's going to be redirected upon you, and it's an encouraging sort of thing within you. It's a sort of 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back. So you're going to be progressing constantly, but not going too quickly. Therefore, you can really concentrate on the detail of everything, which you're really good at. That's one of your real strengths, of seeing the fine detail within what you're doing. And this seems to be that. It's almost as if you're like sort of doing the work and then checking it, doing the work, then checking it. And that's really good for progressional sort of energy in a manifestation sense of creating, manifesting your and starting your fundamental desires going forward. Absolutely, really beautiful. And I think it also ties into what you're doing. So if you're happy or comfortable with the people around you, it's going to be great. If you're not, you're going to shut down. And if you find yourself shutting down all the time with the same people, maybe that's because you know, your future may not necessarily, or the immediate future may not necessarily be with those people around you. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to sort of say saranaya to everyone that is around you that doesn't really sort of fit. It just means you sort of kind of going, I'll see you later, I'm off, I'm going to go and sort myself out and explore my dreams and aspirations, and I'll see you later on down the line. You know, the people will still be there always for you to come back to. Let's just have a look what's going on in your crown chakra. This is really tight as well. That's not a bad thing at all, but I think there's a case here, and this is what could be this sort of sun or sort of birthing process that's going through your sacrum at the moment. I think the you know what you should be doing. I think you know what you should be doing, and it's a call to mission. Basically, it's a stop messing about within your life, and this is where your sacrum is getting your crown chakra is getting a lot more sort of focused. It's almost as if, like, yes, you can see that potential and what you're logging onto or locking onto, that grounding thing with you, and that because the root chakra and the crown chakra is the same chakra, it seems to be the same thing is happening within your crown chakra as well. So it's feeding those sort of heart's desires within you. It's really nice, absolutely beautiful sort of scenario going on for you there. Okay, so let's just see what's going on with your so yeah, just to finish off, like the crown chakra there is giving you a very clarity of vision and of idea of consciousness of where you should be going, and I would follow that consciousness if I was you. Let's just have a look what's going on your aura. Like most people, there seems to be something that's happening later on, I would say Thursday in this week, and it's like a action that you are applying from within you onto the outside world. This could be down to the realization that's happening, what's been happening in the world over this past week, but it's an action that you are applying to the world. And it's very cutting, it's very sharp, it's very precise of how you apply yourself in the whole thing. Really quite nice, actually, Virgo. Let's just see what's going on the rest of it as well. there is also something that comes up in the very latter stages of the week. So we're talking about the sort of like the first of April. What do you call it? April Fool's Day in a way. Not that it's April Fool's Day for you. There isn't one other aspect that I'd like to say on here. There is that, and I think this is from the past, and I think it's coming to an end. But there is some other. It seems to be, where people seem to be influencing you a little bit too much, or absorbing your energy, basically. Where people sort of say energy vampires, but energy vampires don't really exist. We only allow them to exist. It's the way we position ourselves, and if we allow people to impose themselves upon us, then we end up getting. When that person leaves, we're stuck in that sort of position that they feel comfortable with, and you don't feel comfortable with, and then you feel like they've zapped all your energy. They haven't zapped all your energy. You're just not sitting in a comfortable position within your life, and I would resist that now. It's something you need to follow your path and get it over the line. That's what it seems to be like. Okay, let's just see what the overall energy flow is going. Yeah, it's flowing into your heart. It's flowing into your heart's desires. It also comes down from the upper section into your heart's desires and opening up your heart to great possibilities within you. Absolutely amazing. Really, really nice. Thank you very much for being here and subscribing and clicking that bell and all of that sort of malarkey, sharing, commenting, liking this video. Just tell me how it's going on, because obviously YouTube is really not helping us. They obviously don't want these types of channels to exist that is helping people to open up to the possibilities of a beautiful and bright future that is based upon how you engage with your life rather than how the outside world is imposed upon you, basically. So thank you very much for being here. Let's just see what the overall energy has for you this week. Queen of Swords. Clarity of vision, and I think this ties into that crown chakra and also that root chakra. It's having the wind at your back, understanding that you can have a control over your emotions and allow those emotions to drive on and develop your heart's desires, basically. That's what it seems to be happening, and she's pointing in that direction. She's pointing towards where she should be going. And anybody who knows about sport, it's like when you're surfing, when you're turning in a wave, your head and what you're looking at will bring you into the direction of the board of where you want to take your board. And this is about your life as well. So you're giving yourself that heads up direction to where you should be going, basically. Let's just see what's on your karmic mission. Karmic mission on your relationship sides is celebration, socializing and stuff like that, which I said you should be calming. But obviously, I think it's a case of finding out the doses of how to... this could tie into that, when I said about the third eye and the throat chakra, of knowing the people that should be around you, knowing the people that you may need to meet later on down the path. And at the moment, within your relationships here, I think this is a case of recognizing the good parts of the relationships and being with the people who really make you feel good, basically. Recognizing that within you. Okay, so the universe has given you the 10 of Wands. Are they giving you too much? Are you carrying too much? Is that what it is? I don't think it is that. I think the universe is preparing to sort of give you a lot of things. It's also, just think of the potential that you do have in those 10 wands that you've been carrying. And the thing is, that person is coming to the end of the journey. It's coming towards the town, and they can use all those passions in a very glorious place when it mixes it up with other people that are around you. It can also mean, the end of a journey and getting to a place where you want to be, where you have all that full potential that was in your solar plexus. And the universe is backing you up here within your relationships to sort of say, this is where you need to be going forward. this is what your guides are influencing you. So, or influencing this Three of Cups here. As I said earlier on, obviously it could be for some of you who are going through a breakup, or a very a painful emotional moment in your life, which seems to be emotional from the world outside you and around you. And I think this could be tied into sort of like your potential and having to sort of pull out of situations. And it's, so we've got the Three of Cups and the Three of Swords at the same time. And I wouldn't let life get you down. And maybe the guys here are trying to sort of limit the painful situations that you can find yourself in if you don't acknowledge the direction you should be going. That sometimes you could be carrying people too much, and that could be the warning from the universe. But here, the guides, it's all to do with coincidences and stuff like that. So I think they're creating situations around you at the moment, coincidences, to stop you from hurting yourself, basically, within the connections with other people, and start to realize that you should only be around people that actually really bring you enjoyment. Lovers. So in this conversation, this is how your guides influence the conversation that is within you. So these Lovers card here, they're sort of saying it's the combining of two great ideas. It's combining, obviously, of two souls, of two spirits together. It could be your dream partner that turns up, but it's also a case of learning and loving the connection that you do have with other people that are around you. And that's the conversation that you're driving towards. And yeah, there may be a situation that has just been a little bit too heavy for you to carry on with, and your guides are sort of cutting that out of your life. And this is the sort of carrot that's sort of like egging you on within your conversation within you. And I would follow that. I think it has to do with falling in love with yourself, of who you are and how you fit within those sort of communities, or those sort of relationships are around you. It could be the case of one door closing, another door opening in regards to relationships. It could be a case that you have split up with someone, but then the reason you split up with someone because you've actually you've fallen in love with another person. It happens. I wouldn't worry too much about it in a way. Obviously, you don't want to cause any pain for anybody else, but maybe it's just a situation that you've been carrying too long, and you need to move on from that. And that's what that potential is within that solar plexus as well. In the Lovers card here, there's that sun that's coming down, that's shining the light on love, but also that volcano that has that earthly potential within your root chakra as well. And it may be a case of, you see those connections or those opportunities which you're seizing upon and locking into as we go forward, or as you go forward in your life, and connecting with the people around you and really loving it, basically. And saying goodbye to the old past. It's giving, that's as well, is sort of like that Queen of Swords is giving judgment in a way, or just sort of that sword that's cutting through that pain there, which the guides are trying to limit in your life at the moment. So in here, I think it's coincidences that are around you within your relationships, which is going to help you to sort of say, I'm not going down that way. I'm going to follow this part and start moving on and following my heart, following my desires, and falling in love with life, and in love with the people that are around you. See what's going on in your material side. This could be this earth here, this egg thing, this birthing of the sun within you, this going through the portal, going through from one dimension to another, bringing forth the celebration of life as you combine things in a very concrete way, which is to do with your passions and that potential that is in your solar plexus, but also the that sort of birthing egg that is within your sacrum, which is going to fuel those heart's desires and those connections that are around you, which is highly abundant within you at the moment. But it's a definite, so this is your karmic mission, and your karmic mission is to step through the door, is to take that step, to finalize things, to stop. It's the end of procrastination. So it's the starting of that book, or it's the sending that book off to the publishers and stuff like that. Just literally just kind of just do it. Just do it. Don't hang back anymore. Perfection, as I think I just said it, I sent it to you earlier on. Perfection is, it might have been some other sign, but perfection, there's only two moments of perfections in life. One moment is in your first inhalation, and the next moment is in your exhalation, your last exhalation. And that's when perfection exists. The rest of it is we're constantly molding and developing and evolving. And you've got to step through that portal in order to develop and evolve, basically. 5 of Swords. This is where the universe is coming in here and influencing this, stepping through to this. And this is where you've got to walk away from something that's causing conflicts that are not really worth winning. And you can be very conflictual, Virgo, when you really want, when you're up for it, you're really up for it. It's sort of like standing and holding your ground. But here it's sort of saying, be wise here. Don't be stupid. Walk away from conflicts that you don't need to win. Don't be sort of like a hard-headed. I've nearly broke into an Elvis song then. What's that? Hard-headed woman. Yeah. And this is, so don't be hard-headed about it. I want to know the lyrics of that song now. Hard-headed woman. So yeah, it's walking, the universe is encouraging you to walk through that portal and walk away from old past conflicts. It could also be the conflicts that is in society that is around you. And that could be that new thing that you're offering to society on your, or offering to life through your sacrum as well. Okay, so the guides here are trying to help you to open your eyes to see things in a different way. And you're going to see things in a different way. When you go from one reality to another, you're going to see things completely differently. And the best thing about it is the hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge. And he's purposely put himself in a position because he has the sun at his behind his head. I've got the card purposely upside down so you can see it. But he's purposely hung himself upside down to put the sun, in the ground and the ground in the sky in a way, just to see things completely differently. I've got a really good friend of mine who is she's a Cancer, but a really good friend of mine. And when we were young people, I still am a young person, obviously. When we were really young, used to lay across those big bales of hay and just lay on them. And we were watching, I think we were watching people in a party or someone running past or birds running around a field or something like that. And just watching the world upside and seeing how these people walk around. And they sort of like spring around rather than anything else. Absolutely brilliant way of looking at the world. And this is how your guides are trying to open up that idea of seeing things completely differently. And you've got the star card. So it is going through this dimension. And he's got that sort of star behind his head as well. And seeing things differently. And here's where your guides are sort of saying to you, now it's the time to get on. Now it's the time to make fertile land. Now here's the time to irrigate your dreams and aspirations so you can plant seeds which are going to bring those beautiful fruits for the future. And when you do, and this is where I think you're giving this offering to the world as well. When you do, those fruits are not just for you; they're for everybody. Within you, the potential. It's that carrot as well that's leading you on. So when you have these moments of inspiration that comes through you, through your third eye and your throat chakra, I would really follow that carrot going on. Knight of Swords, call to mission. That's what I said at the beginning as well. It's as if you're being called to a mission in life. And it's not like a mission that's, it's the mission of the whole life. It could well be for some of you. It could really be for some of you. But I do think it's more of a case of saying, it's like, it's a section of call to a mission, to getting that section done, getting those things through, starting that book, sending that book off to the publishers and stuff like that, or just starting that business and doing that business. And as you do get that call to mission, which comes from the Knight of Sword, is protecting, it's opening the way for that queen there, that is the overall energy. And there's that overall energy is that sort of that clarity of sensation and emotions that you will have along yourself. And as these cards here are being sort of very well protected now by your sort of socializing and connecting with other people and falling in love with life, this is going to allow your Knight to sort of go bursting out there into the future and open the doors to the possibilities of the future that you could dream, where you could bring into manifest into position your dreams and aspirations. There you go, Virgo. Thank you very much for being with us. As I said, YouTube are not really helping us. So just if you've made it this far, wow, you're obviously brilliant, and I love you dearly. So yeah, thank you very much, Virgo, for being with us, for subscribing, clicking that bell, and all of those all of those things that go along with it. Yeah, I will be doing that special on Sunday about what's going on in this mixed up world of Arthur Brown around us, which kicked off from Tuesday. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.